There are these places online, spaces that feel less like communities and more like spiritual slaughterhouses. Today, we're going in. We're going to dissect one of them. And look, this isn't just me making an observation. Think of this as an intervention, a necessary one, for every single tarot reader who has ever poured their gift out for free online and felt a tiny piece of their soul just chip away.
And I am not exaggerating. We are about to conduct a full-blown forensic analysis of a system that is literally designed to bleed your talent dry, one thank you dear at a time. So please, pay close attention, because your entire professional life could actually depend on what you hear next.
So where does it all begin? It starts the second you hit post in a group with a name like Absolutely Free Tarot. You think you're being generous, right? Building a reputation, maybe? Well, what you've actually just done is sign a contract you never even read. You've made a blood offering.
And just like that, in an instant, you're no longer a seer. You're not a channel of divine truth who's respected for a sacred gift. Nope. You've become a vending machine. And people believe they have every right to kick you, to shake you, to exploit you for a free product. They expect you to perform on demand. And you stop attracting genuine seekers, and you start attracting bottom feeders.
And listen, let's be brutally honest for a second. A lot of these people, they can afford to pay. They absolutely can, but they won't. And why would they? You, along with hundreds of other readers just like you, have meticulously trained them that your time, your energy, and your incredible talent are worth exactly nothing.
Now, this isn't some abstract theory. It's a predictable, soul-crushing pattern. And to really get it, we just need to look at the perfect archetype of the spiritual exploiter. Let's call her Haley. Oh, you've all met a Haley. I promise you have.
Okay, so here's the Haley method. Here's how it works. Over the course of just 1 year, our Haley got 11 full readings. Every single one was followed by this gushing, totally empty praise. That was such beautiful guidance. You're so gifted. And these vague promises to book a real paid session. But of course, when it was time to actually pay up, poof, she's gone. Only to slither back a few weeks later with another demand, all wrapped up in fake politeness and the little heart emoji. Over that entire year, Haley did pay a grand total of $24. So across 11 sessions of deep emotional and spiritual labor, you want to know what that breaks down to? $2.18 per reading. That's less than a cup of coffee, less than a cheap pack of gum. That is the actual value she placed on beautiful guidance.
So what is your return on investment in these groups? Let's look at it. Your income is almost entirely composed of fake praise, compliments that cost nothing and are worth exactly the same. The actual tangible cash, it's a sliver so tiny it's basically a rounding error. This isn't exposure, people, it's a grift. So, this is the really crucial point. This is the psychological trap you've fallen into. When a freeloader tells you you're amazing, it does not, I repeat, does not mean she values your work. It means she values your obedience. She values that you're willing to perform on demand, that you're desperate for her validation. It's a twisted kind of Stockholm syndrome, where you start bonding with the very people who are exploiting you.
But here, right here, is where the diagnosis gets even darker. The problem isn't just the entitled clients. No, the real sickness in these groups comes from the other readers. It's a frantic, desperate community that actively, aggressively normalizes burnout.
And let's be clear, this behavior isn't generosity. It's an addictive loop. It starts with this deep craving for validation from total strangers. Then, giving away a free reading gives them this temporary high, this feeling of being psychic. And finally, they get hooked on the dopamine drip from the notification alerts and the thank you posts. Because let's face it, building a real business is slow and it's terrifying. What this does is it creates this toxic, self-policing system. They glorify their own burnout like it's some kind of spiritual martyrdom. And the second one of them gets brave enough to post a paid offer, they become the enemy. The whispers start, oh, she's just in it for the money now. They enforce the trap for everyone. I want you to imagine something. Imagine a luxury hotel started offering free, hour-long massages to every single guest. Now, do you think those guests would ever, under any circumstances, agree to suddenly start paying full price? Of course not. They'd riot. Well, the exact same principle applies to your spiritual work. See, once you establish yourself in these groups, you are permanently branded in the minds of every single person there. And that brand isn't gifted seer or powerful intuitive. Oh no, your brand is the free reader.
The desperate one, the easy one. And that mark, it's basically impossible to remove.
You haven't positioned yourself as a valued professional. You've positioned yourself as the public option. You are the emotional emergency room where the spiritually destitute come for a quick fix, and then they just walk right out without ever paying the bill. That becomes your permanent role.
Okay, so the diagnosis is grim. I get it, but it is not a death sentence. There is a path out of this, but it requires a complete rebirth. It requires you to abandon the swamp entirely and elevate yourself through the incredible power of scarcity.
The solution isn't complicated, but it is radical. You have to exit these codependent pits immediately. You have to create boundaries so powerful that leeches are repelled on sight. You post your work on your own platforms, on your own terms. Your new mantra is so simple: charge, deliver, invite, withdraw. Let your energy become rare and exclusive.
You have to fundamentally change how you present your entire practice. Your space is not a 24/7 customer service desk that creates an obligation for you to always be on. It is a temple. It's a sacred space, available by appointment, and that creates a sense of mystery, of value.
The final judgment is this, and I really want you to let this sink in. If you want to be respected as a professional, as an artist, as a seer, you must stop being cheap.
And if you want to be wealthy, if you truly want to build a sustainable, thriving practice that honors your gift, you must stop being kind to vampires.
These groups were never built to honor you, they were built to feed on you. So the choice is yours, and it is absolute. Will you build your temple somewhere else, or will you stay right here and be devoured?